Back to you guys.
All right, thanks so much, Mark. To dive a little bit deeper into this story, let's talk to Jason Chaffetz. He's a Fox News contributor, and he's a former chairman of the House Oversight and Reform Committee. Good morning to you, Jason.
Good morning. Good morning.
Jason, let's talk about the appropriateness of an impeachment trial, the pursuit of impeachment of President Trump in just a moment, but you've been there, so I want to ask you a little bit about the process. You heard Mark say it would be difficult to get anything started before the 19th of January. But you also heard from Senator Pat Toomey right there, a Republican, saying he would support an impeachment trial. How much support do you believe or do you know would be on the Republican side of the aisle, and how much would be needed for this to move forward?
I think most Republicans were appalled by the president's actions on January 6th. I think it was one of the most shameful days. I think it was the worst day of the Trump presidency. But now that the people have spoken, that the election has been certified, that as the Congress gathers on Monday, with 9 days to go before we actually swear in a new president, I think we should focus on the transition. The president has offered as much. I think that is the right course of action. Again, I think you can condemn the actions. I think you can express your frustration, the lack of civility, the way that people attacked the Capitol Hill police officers was fundamentally wrong, just as we did over the spring and summer, where we were condemning the actions and calling for prosecutions of people attacking federal buildings. I wish the Democrats would join Republicans in condemning that action, as well as what happened on the Capitol on January 6th. But at this point, from my personal belief, I think we need to focus on the next 9-10 days on the transition and making sure that Joe Biden goes to that inauguration and is able to govern immediately. That's what the country needs.
Oh, Jason, you know Democrats won't join in. I mean, when it was on the shoe was on the other foot, they were starting bailout funds for rioters. That's not how they don't play by the same standards. It doesn't work that way. But forgive viewers who get sort of whiplash from Joe Biden, who in one sentence says, unity, we need unity, I'm going to unify America, and then on the other side is not asking Nancy Pelosi not to pursue impeachment. After all that's been done to President Trump, say what you want about January 6th from Mueller, you've talked about it all the way, the gamut of impeachment and boycotting and resistance and suppression. So if they move forward with impeachment, does it make the idea of unity more possible, or are we looking at driving the divide deeper and further causing Trump supporters to say, what do I do?
Well, it makes unity elusive. I don't think you can get there. I think we're going to spend 9-10 days arguing with each other instead of focusing on things like how do we get more of the distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine
like last time,
to actually get into people's arms, things like that. Congress was not scheduled to be back in session, so they're going to try to bring, Nancy Pelosi wants to bring him back in. But I think this is on Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the leader of the Democratic Party at this point. If he wants truly to unite people, if he wants to take a deep breath collectively as a country and try to move on, then it's up to him.
Yeah, you know, Jason, my only concern with what we're seeing here, I think that's different from calls for impeachment last time, is that to me this time the actions by the president are an impeachable offense. I think I don't see how you really see it another way.
I can see it another way. There's a lot of people that see it another way. But go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Well, okay. So I see it as an impeachable offense, what he did, you know, basically inciting rioters to go and attempt to overturn what was a constitutional process. Now, given that reality of how many people feel, what do you do if there is no consequence to that action? Because the reality is that President Trump could run again. He is free to run again. I think he would have a lot of support if he did run again. But you don't want this behavior to occur again. So does it send the wrong message if you make your decision on impeachment based on how Trump supporters may react or how people inclined to riot may react?
I think, Jedediah, I think what really prevails in this case is that the people have spoken. They have made a change. There is going to be a transition, and literally less than 10 days that will happen. So you can condemn it. I think members should go on the record and express exactly what they believe in that. I think it was reprehensible. I think it was absolutely wrong. I was terribly disappointed in the president, but there is going to be a transition to power. So the point being that it's going to happen on January 20th. And if you're going to start to collectively take a deep breath and move on with this country, I think this exercise, which really doesn't have enough time to play out anyway, it does not do things to actually move our country forward.
Yeah. You guys are having an important conversation about the appropriateness of an impeachment trial and what it does to this country. I think it's also important to figure out, is it even realistic? How much will Republicans, who will be needed, support this type of action? That's going to be a story going forward over the next couple of days. All right, Jason, thanks so much for your time this morning.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
All right, still ahead. After sweeping